Welcome to Cruise and Kayfabe. I'm Mongo.
Emily.
And today, once again, we are joined by Jeff, aka Smokey, and Rachael, fresh off their Wrestledream appearance in St. Louis. So thank you guys for coming back on.
Hey, hello. Thank you for having us.
Hello, hello.
Absolutely. Figured it'd be a great day to talk about not only Wrestledream, run that down, and give our thoughts on it, especially from two people who were there. But also, I heard that their pre-sale has officially started for the 7th cruise of the 7th cruise. A nice little Iron Maiden tribute there, the 7th son of the 7th son.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm ready for a good night, folks. What about you guys?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Agreed.
Looking forward to it.
Now that Rachael has all 5 senses back.
Speaking of 5 senses,
Yes.
you lost some of yours.
I did. I apologize for how gross I sound. I'm going to try to push
fine.
through.
Listen, it's just a little pre-cruise tradition, getting your, losing your voice after the cruise. You're just losing it talking about the cruise. If it all fits, it's all wrestling, right?
Pre-cruise crud.
Exactly, pre-cruise crud.
Pre-cruise crud.
We gotta washy more.
There you go.
The worst part is I just started taking my vitamins again.
Did you say your prayers and take your milk?
Ew. To the milk, for the record.
Yeah, I'm just going off an old promo. But before we derail myself too far with my shenanigans, let's get right into Wrestledream. I mean, it started out really cool. I like the tailgate brawl. I've said it before. It's kind of like Sunday Night Heat leading into the show. And when we get to the match, we'll talk about it. Had a little interesting way to start the show. But we start right off with the Death Riders taking on the conglomeration, even if Mr.
Messiah of the Fabricator,
Roddy and Strong himself doesn't want to conglomerate. But I want to ask, what are your thoughts on the Death Riders versus the conglomeration and Roderick?
Rachael?
I thought it was a good match. I was surprised that Roderick actually wrestled as good as he did. So, because I'm not a big fan of him. So, but yeah, no, I liked it. I thought it was really good.
It did soften her a little bit. It was kind of special. She's like, "Oh, Rod, you did all right that match." I'm like, "Geez, finally."
I know.
Like, fucking kidding me? I'm like, Roddy can go whether you like him or not. Yeah, I was the same way. I thought it was a fun match. It was a good open. You got a few bigger names and a lot of televised people on really early to start the match. So I thought it was a pretty good choice because it definitely seemed to kind of get the crowd going right off the bat. So I thought that was a pretty good choice.
No, I liked it. I think one of the big things I enjoyed is it was kind of a cluster. Obviously, with the conglomeration losing there, we kind of knew that it was the Death Riders taking over. And Rachael kind of had that theme the whole night. I don't think she had a lot of good guys winning. I think she was talking about it being a Death Riders night, and it started out.
heel Smokey.
It started out that way. Yeah, I was gonna say you guys were on.
I voted almost all heels. I think every one of my people was heels. It's crazy.
It's wild. And you predicted some other things that were heel-ish to give a little preview there, because it definitely was not a dream for a lot of the faces on this card. You have any thoughts on this match? Or?
I really enjoy that they're putting fan favorites on the pre-show to show you why they are fan favorites. I know I said it before on the other show, but it's just very impactful as far as getting this newer fan base. That's I don't know if I want to say it
discovering
this way,
AEW?
but yeah, people are freshly discovering AEW, branching out, trying something new, and I think that it's smart to put the Death Riders with their very big relevant story into the pre-show to kind of showcase what AEW's been doing for a while. And then you have the conglomeration, which everyone loves this bromance. There's not a bad thing going with the conglomeration.
They had a sitcom entrance theme. How great. It was 90210.
Everything about the conglomeration right now is just iconic.
The word of the day is iconic. We got the signature 90s spoiling everyone on the couch. I love it. I love the conglomeration. I thought it was fun. And then, you want to talk about fan favorites. That's the next one. We had Eddie Kingston and Hook taking on... We're a little too old, but we're in the frat house. I was a little shocked because I really thought my prediction came true. LFI came on the big screen. I was like, holy shit. I called it. It's going to be Eddie Hook versus Roosh and Simi. Why is the frat house coming out?
Nope.
Yeah.
So what'd you guys think of this one?
I liked it. It was good to see Eddie Kingston come back. I think him and Hook did a really good job tag team. I think that they should keep that up. I think it'd be good for both of them. But I know the frat boys. I was like, where does this come from? Like, you could have picked somebody else. But yeah, it was a good match. I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good kind of calm down too from that first match. Kind of get up that first one. This one kind of energy's a little bit different. Everybody of course was popping hard to get Eddie and Hook together, which was cool. You know what I mean? Frat House. I will say this: it was cool to see Griff Garrison getting back on something at least, because I actually kind of liked him when he used to be with Pillman and all that stuff. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I was happy for that portion of that. But, I mean, we all kind of knew this. I'll go out and put on a limb. I already said on the predictions, it doesn't fucking matter who they go against. It's fucking Eddie and Hook. We all know that. So that one I was like, yeah, we all knew that. That was easy. But good squash, because they needed somebody like that. And Frat House is fun. Like, I'll go back to Emily's point she used for this last one, conglomeration and whatnot. You're getting to see some more candid stuff, with some serious guys on the other side too. So, like you said, kind of showcasing different styles and different, things that are a part of AEW for this opening and free, for everybody to see. So I like that. This is a good mix.
I do too. And I just want to say, you talked about Pop. You guys were hot the entire night. I mean, when that pre-show started and how loud that crowd was, it's great because, the biggest criticism sometimes is you have these flat, dead crowds. And I mean, you guys started off hot. I mean, Hook got a tremendous ovation when that music hit, like that Frank Sinatra-esque music, which I absolutely love.
Pretty cool.
Like, he comes out and I'm like, it fits him. Like, it oddly fits him. And then, just seeing Eddie and Hook just have their way with the Frat House. They're going to bump their asses off for Eddie and Hook. And it's great. And I agree. I like Griff Garrison. Every time I see him, all I could think of is BT is, who the fuck is Griff Garrison? I annoy the shit out of Emily next to me because every time I say it, she just rolls her eyes because she knows it's coming.
Something I really like that the Frat House does is typically a night before a show, like a pay-per-view event, they're doing a meet and greet somewhere, and I think it's really cool because that's what they're there to do. Like, they're the party. They're the Frat House, and I think it's really enticing for fans to be able to go find them at a local bar and just, like, hang out with them. Like, if you don't know they're going to be there and they're randomly there all together partying, that's kind of awesome.
Well, you know who didn't have an awesome time at a bar?
That'd be fun.
Big Boom AJ did not have an awesome time at a bar because that poor man was in there.
You were right on that.
He was in there
Emily was
just
right
trying to promote the show, and Don Cal's family, Rocker Romero and Trent, decided to beat the crap out of him in front of his son, Big Justice, and I liked the visual of it. It reminded me of the old school Attitude Era vignettes where JBL would go into a bar with Farouk and beat people up, or you would have like the off-site people getting beaten down, like the 24/7 championship. They're fighting in supermarkets. Like, I like off-site brawls because it kind of it draws in different entertainment elements. Wrestling is a variety show, and I enjoyed that.
And to put a watch party on with Big Boom AJ was really smart. I just like how clever their whole, like, top to bottom, they're taking care of the fans, and I just really enjoy that.
And do you know who had a cameo as one of the bartenders or barbacks? Ashley D'Amboise. Speaking of the cruise there, she was in the background of that scene because after they showed it again, I think you pointed it out because we actually got to talk with her a lot on the cruise. So she's someone that I thought would stick around because she killed it on AEW Dark. So it's kind of nice to see that even though she's just being extra work, it was cool to see a familiar face in the crowd. And again, something I like that AEW does is they'll bring people out of nowhere to showcase them, or they'll have tag teams put together. And I've said this before, I am not a fan of throwing together tag teams, but AEW does something special. I feel like they find the right people, they find the chemistry, and this next match, it proves it because you have the Babes of Wrath, Harley Cameron and Willow, defeating Top Gods, or what did you call them, Jeff? You had another name for Bane and Ford that I liked.
Mega Bad.
I like that one. Two teams that originally thrown together that absolutely killed it, but I'm definitely excited to hear your thoughts because so far that was one of my favorite matches to really start the pre-show was this one.
It was. I liked it. I liked the fact that it was the girls wrestling, and I thought really did a really good job at it. Harley did as well. I knew they were going to win because it's Willow. And of course, everybody was cheering. So but it was a really good match. I like to see the women fight because you know that men can fight, but to watch the women be able to do it, it's pretty cool. So, and I like the fact that Harley Cameron's getting up there. So she's interesting.
Well, and again, I'll go with same thing. So you had that Death Riders conglomeration gets the crowd way up, and you got that Eddie Hook brings it down. Now you got that crowd back up again because I'll say this, intros were great. You had both sets of ladies coming out in some sweet ass fucking gear. You
Yeah.
had the
Poison
what was it,
Ivy
the
and Harley.
yeah,
Yep.
and Harley, and then you
The
got the
pink and
matching,
blue. Yeah.
with the purple and teal and all that between the Harley and Willow. So thought that was really awesome. And yeah, this was definitely one of the better matches of the night. I thought very entertaining, some good spots, and I thought they did a great job. So I enjoyed this one.
I did too, and you should have seen this one pop as soon as she saw Harley Quinn. Her face lit up like a kid on Christmas. Because if anyone knows Emily, when you see fantastic gear or cosplays,
Oh yeah,
you've won her over. So I definitely gotta get your thoughts on this because you popped hard for that gear.
I was so excited. I was immediately trying to get pictures. Like, I was like, how do I do this? Where am I going? Oh my God, this is so great. Like, they looked so adorable.
Yeah.
Everything about it just was phenomenal.
I'll have to send
Bane
you some
and Willow
pictures.
together. I want to see them wrestle forever.
I
I
want to
think they're
see.
good
They're a
together.
good matchup because they got
And
a lot of the same strength and size type things going
yeah,
for
and
them.
Penelope
Doesn't look
Ford
so
is so athletic.
different.
I just love watching all four of these women. Harley Cameron could probably sell me a piece of shit and I would buy it.
Well
That
then,
girl, like, I don't care what it is. She's doing it and I'm there for it.
so Harley Cameron, if you need someone to buy
Well,
any
she's like
merchandise at all, you know who's the mark for your merchandise right over
yeah.
here. She'll feel the
Well, you
wrath.
got to think too. Willow is like that kind of different character because I know this is kind of because when we met her on the cruise, it was like, you're like that nice guy person, but then when you like get in the ring, you turn it on and you turn into not necessarily, psycho or nothing, but like then you hit hard, you do stuff, but I like it because you're still that nice girl. She's like, boom, I just knocked the fuck out of you, and
For,
she's like, oh hey, sorry about that, I hit you too hard, that type of thing. So I really enjoy that because that's different. You don't have that type of character.
no, I
So
love that. Like when she hits that pounce, it like you can tell she's like taking people off their feet, or and she starts not like hulking up, but she starts to like feel the energy of the crowd, and she's getting that surge of adrenaline, and she's getting ready to just clean house. And like you both said, or when she goes against Bean, like I want to see her against Hater, against Bean. I want to see her against Bozilla. I want to see her against Olympia. Like all these
hmm
different styles of women that we didn't see for years, and that's what was great about this pre-show is they're showcasing different talent that maybe you haven't seen wrestle. So that was really smart, the tailgate brawl, because not only did you have your big 6-man match, you had a tag match, then you had your women's tag match, which is now the emphasis of the closing out the year is the women's tag division. So it
hmm
was a great way to kind of tease for the participants in this new tournament and also kind of show their hatred to get towards blood and guts. So it was good to kind of build those little overarching stories, get them on a pre-show, but the pre-show meant something. It wasn't just a throwaway like, oh, we're going to have Harley and
right.
Willow fight you two. Sometimes pre-shows just feel like, oh, here's a match. It
It's
seems
not a
like there was
showcase
actual,
just to pop you. It's like you said, means something.
yeah, like they actually put care and consideration into it.
hmm
And I know Emily, like she said, she'll feel the wrath. She pops every time she hears the crowd. St. Louis, you guys screamed when they feel the wrath hit. I think she got the biggest pop of the night so far because people love them some Harley.
Yep. Yes, they
What is
did.
not to love? She is like
Well,
literally good at every little thing she does. It does not matter what it
She's so
is.
talented.
It's incredible to think that she's only been wrestling a handful of years.
hmm
Amazing.
And
Yep.
I just think it was a great segue to obviously when we get to that later on. I think it's a great segue to kind of help her overarch some other feuds too because she gets a lot of TV time because she earns it. And they
hmm
definitely did great. And we kind of called it on the pre-show how the transition, the Top Gods went to FTR coming out, went to those shenanigans, which I liked because that last match was kind of set up chaotically, which was a great theme. Because at first I was like, oh, did they mess up with the time? Because the announcers, so you guys weren't there, so I don't know if you guys obviously have gone back and watched it. But the announcers, when the entrance had started for FTR and Speedball, they were like, "Oh no!" And when the announcers, I'm just going to read. So when the announcers started for Speedball, the announcer was like, "Oh no, there's only a few minutes left. What are they going to do?" And then they kept kind of having those timing cues of
Okay.
like, "Hey, there's only like 2 minutes left," and the countdown was going. So we were watching at home like, "This is going to run over." And then I've never seen it before. Maybe Jeff, I don't know if have you ever seen it. I've never seen a pay-per-view start with pyro going off, the whole opening, everything, and then there's action going on in the ring. I thought that was kind of a cool transition to almost make you have to watch the pay-per-view to see the conclusion of this match.
It was a little different because we were kind of wondering that. Go ahead, Rachel. But yeah.
I don't. Oh, I do remember the pyro.
Okay.
Yes, it was. It was lots of fire. Yeah. I was wondering it too, and I was like, "Well, that's kind of different." I was like, "What did they do there?" But it was pretty cool. It looked cool and proud, that's for sure.
It was different, and I feel like you could sense in the crowd their kind of discombobulation of it, I guess. I don't know. Could you guys feel that from us?
Yeah,
It was so confusing, but at the same time, it was awesome.
it was like organized chaos.
Yeah,
is
I
the
mean,
best way I can
it
describe
was cool. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. But yeah, definitely, like you guys said, it was different because we're like, well, how is that affecting the viewership right now? Because, well, okay. So
And it was better than them
after
like
that, we just
cutting
kind
a
of went with
match
the flow.
short. I would rather have it start
Oh,
chaotically
yeah.
than cut someone that deserves that time.
And Tony Schiavone was losing his mind in commentary. He's like, "This is the greatest thing. I've never seen this happen." He was like legit dying laughing because he thought it was fantastic. So I don't think the announcers were clued in that it was going to overrun from essentially Collision to the pay-per-view because Tony Schiavone was like laughing his ass off. Like he was corpsing. Excalibur was like, "Yeah, it's great." Like Tony was dying the entire time. So I think it set the vibe. And I know
Wow.
it was a little confusing and it was a little chaotic, but I think it started out good. And obviously, I was shocked because I had predicted Speedball to pick up the upset, but obviously Stokely, that bastard, he gets no hose, had to hold down his feet to make sure FTR won. But Jeff, you called that
Yeah,
one.
boy. Yeah, sticking with the heels, baby.
Yeah, he grabbed him by the heels. That's why.
See?
But then we get to eventually the first pay-per-view match, and probably it opened up one of the best ways you can. And Wrestledream, we know it's about Antonio Inoki. We know it's a tribute to Strong Style. What better way to start out with Jamie Hayter and Tekla coming out? Jamie Hayter wearing Inoki's scarf, Tekla coming out just having such a presence to her, and both women just having a slog fest, beating the living shit, working stiff. Just they tore it up. So I definitely want to hear your thoughts on what do you guys think of Jamie Hayter and Tekla's match?
I thought it was a good match. I was surprised that Jamie Hayter could go. I mean, like, I didn't know that she wrestled that well. And then Tekla, of course, it wasn't going to end until she did her little spider move. So, there was a couple of times where you thought, oh, and then, because she had to do it. But yeah, it was a really good match.
Yeah, I thought it was entertaining as well. I don't know. I thought there was a couple spots that had a little bit of some flow issues, but other than that, I thought they did very well. Like I said, with the hard hitting, had a couple really cool spots too. We were talking, and like I said, when we saw it live, there was a couple just a little things that maybe were a little clunky, but like I've said in the past, though, a lot of times I don't mind that because to me, that just adds to the realism of suspending your disbelief.
No,
And they have to flow through something that maybe didn't go as well. You know what I mean? And I thought they did make, for the most part, made everything look good still, and then still salvaged it. So yeah, I thought good overall match.
I
And
enjoyed
then
it
the
too.
women opened the show.
And it was
Yeah, and that was
definitely
awesome
the
as
right
well.
choice, especially with the blood and guts thing.
Highlight
Jamie
of the
Hayter
night
getting that
show.
first win.
Mhm. Well, I'm just saying highlight of the night. We always say whoever your spots are that first match or the main event. You know what I mean? You want either the first match of the night or you want the main event. So we always say highlight of the night and main event.
And
So
I liked that it was very much a good tribute to Luthez because obviously they went to his widow a couple times.
mhm.
And I like that.
That was really cool.
I like that she tried to get involved with Tekla, but she didn't want to hurt Tekla. And so she's holding her, but she like didn't want to hold her. It was so cute. Like she wanted to hold her, but like she's like, I don't want to do this. You could tell she was hesitant, but I liked it because she was backstage after talking about how like Lou would love this and love how not only the women are doing this and not only the other wrestlers. And I was letting her know like it's really cool when you see Tony use a Luthez Prez and you see them go back to that old catches can style and. You saw Stone Cold use that influence. FTR uses a lot of his influence. It was nice to see, Tekla and Jamie Hayter, who are very young, very newer to the business, essentially, give respects to someone who paved the way. And I like the AEW, was not afraid to showcase a St. Louis legend like that because, everyone knows what the Luthez Prez is, especially if you grew up watching WWE. You at least knew that name.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. And we thought that was cool, too. Now, we didn't get to see some of the backstage snippets that you guys did, but we did see when they talked to her at ringside. But we didn't get to see some of that backstage. They flipped to a little bit of it, but we didn't see some of that. So, but we did think it was really cool that they did pay tribute to, St. Louis legend like that and stuff.
No, and it was fantastic. It was a great way to start. But then I'm not gonna lie, my match of the night contender right here, Jurassic Express defeating the Young Bucks, getting some money, as we talked about off air. Henry and Rhonda offering to pay the Young Bucks to get a selfie with the crowd. It was such a fun match. I'm not going to say Emily Thunder, but she's made some good comments about Luchasaurus. I think she should say tonight. I just love seeing Jurassic Express back, the Young Bucks, that chemistry. This tag team is such a healthy division. You guys must have had fun because I don't think that crowd sat down for this match. You guys were electric this entire one.
Well,
This was a good match.
first thing I'm going to say, sorry, Rachel, before that is, so we talked about pops. So you talked about Harley Cameron's pop. How over was fucking Luchasaurus in this match? Because I feel from my remembrance of this that he got the loudest pops and the most chants because I remember chanting Luchasaurus about 15 times.
Oh, yeah. The entire match was Luchasaurus love. The entire match.
Okay.
As it should be.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it's well, and that's what I mean. And I think he was really surprised in a way. I think he knew he was going to be obviously they're over, they're back together, so he knows that he's not stupid. But like, I don't think he really understood, man. And God, you could tell he was really
he was
humbled and respect, and feeling it because he had. Well, go ahead. I won't even get into the match, so go ahead. I'll wait.
No, that was probably the best match of the night. I yelled and screamed through that whole one. I almost lost my voice too, but it was really good. I like the fact that they both were very humble. Even Jungle Jack was. So that was their name that they were calling him was Jungle Jack. So it was pretty cool. It was a really good match. I'm glad that them two are back together, and I can see them two climbing to the top and being the next tag team champ.
They've had the titles before.
Yeah, so it was really good.
They're in a 4-way next week. If they win, they get a shot at Full Gear. So your prediction could come true.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely one of the matches of the night. Oh, not yet. Hold on a second.
No, keep going. No, I'm so excited.
So it was fun. This was definitely a match of the night. Some great spots, some great false finishes in this. I thought all four really, really tore it up in this match. Talking about all that Luchasaurus love, he definitely fucking went out and performed his ass off. I thought one of his better matches to date.
Mm-hmm.
His timing was really good. His stuff looked good. He had good sound to it, and that feel to it where it felt intense, and he felt like he was delivering a blow. And then the Bucks were awesome, sold the shit out of stuff. And I thought there was that good false finish to where my prediction of telling everybody to go fuck yourselves and we're got the money back again. I thought it could have came true.
It almost did. Almost did.
I know. Them damn baby faces had to get a dub. So, but I will say I really wasn't disappointed. And like I said, just definitely one of the overall matches of the night, and everybody killed it. So great job by all of them. So
awesome. Now you may gush over your big brother
Yes.
fanaticism.
So I wish I could go back in time, show up at this Big Brother house where this man is venting and so upset and enthralled with wrestling. He just quit NXT.
Well, he was out injured, yeah.
Yeah, he was out. He was dealing with so many mental issues as far as, am I ever going to wrestle again? All these things that Luchasaurus was fighting and grasping at mentally. Can I go tell him he is one of the biggest names in wrestling right now? Like, how amazing is it to know that you are gone for a little, maybe a year, year and a half,
About a year.
and you come back
I was gonna say,
and
it's
you
been a
are
minute.
so loved, so wanted, so deserving of all of this. I just am so happy for him, knowing
Mhm.
how much he struggled with that at the Big Brother house. Like, if you guys have not gone and watched a little bit of his
I
season,
have not.
I'm not a Big Brother fan. I watched that
Uh-huh.
season for him, and
Yeah.
the passion that man has for the business, I'm so thankful that he's able to have the run that he's having right now.
Do you remember what his NXT name is?
No.
Judas Devlin.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and unfortunately, yeah, his NXT, for those who don't know, his NXT run, it was cut short due to
Oh yeah.
bullying allegations, and there's a long list. If you Google it, there was a lot of claims that were made. I don't know the story, so I don't want to say who's at fault, who's not.
Yeah.
But to kind of echo your point, he definitely had a rough exit from that, and he found Lucha Underground, man. And once he found Lucha
Yep.
Underground, he became a different creature. And
Literally.
then him coming and then to
Deborah
AEW,
or whatever his name was.
coming into his own, and just him coming back in Jurassic Express. And I also want to point out, they did it with Jack Perry. Like, they got him back over. Like, if I was talking to her last night, we all knew what the elephant in the room was with Jack Perry. We all know the situation that happened with him. He had to come back, be scapegoat, be a heel. And then everyone was like, well, why was he gone so long? Absence makes the heart form heart. He comes back,
Yep.
becomes babyface, brings back Luchasaurus. It's almost like you forget about the other bullshit. You're like, Jurassic Express is back. And they were so over. And to your point, Jeff, when you were saying how he had one of his best match, I think people too, especially online, I was reading people are shocked that he could do what he does. I'm like, you guys realize the lucha part of his name is there for a reason, right? He's not just a dinosaur that's a big man. He can do the flips. He can do the tail whip, is Emily's favorite move. He can do
He
all the
Badass
crazy
captivated me
spots.
the second I saw him in 2019 on Double or Nothing. The second I saw him do that tail whip, instantly a fan. I don't know
Well,
if
and
it was the fucking
standing
mask.
shooting stars and standing moonsaults, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty fucking
Like,
sick.
you're 6
It's like
foot
Jeff
plus.
Cobb doing it as Matanza Cueto.
Right.
And I was like, holy shit.
And then just seeing how he
Awesome.
interacts with everyone on the cruise, like, I just realized he was a good dude.
Oh, super nice guy, very educated, well spoken. Yeah, he was very awesome to have on the cruise and meet. He was very cool dude.
He's a dinosaur with a master's in medieval literature. Like, that's just
And a
wild to think
couple other
about.
degrees besides that. I think bachelor's as well.
So it's like, not only do you have someone who's super smart, intelligent, he looks very safe. Like, he looks like he protects everyone. Like, when he does his choke slam, it doesn't look like he's trying to like drive the wind out of you. It looks like he's just delivering a big spot.
Yeah.
But I definitely think Jurassic Express skyrocketed to the top of this division. But I think AEW this year, I was really critical at the beginning of the year, especially January, February. I'm like, they need to fix their tag division. They've kind of lost focus on it. Let's be real. Their big selling point when AEW started, the Young Bucks came out during that press conference in 2019 and said, we want to focus on tag wrestling. That's our bread and butter. Like, that's what's going to make us stand out. And now it's finally come to fruition. And I think that match showed, like, not only the Young Bucks can still go at the level they want to go at, but people forgot Jack Perry can go too. Jack Perry was killing in that match too. Some of those spots he was hitting, and then that countdown to extinction finish they do, where that's so over. Like when he was going 3, 2, and they hit that flipping neck breaker.
Yeah.
That place went nuts. I don't know how loud it was from where you guys, obviously. I'm sure it must have been loud, but that countdown sounded like a Royal Rumble countdown, like 3, 2.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody, like I said, I know Luchasaurus definitely, he's wearing a mask, stuff like that, but I guarantee
he was smiling.
He felt it that night because he that was a long time coming for him. So,
And they've been friends for so long. It is so nice to see people so deserving of what they have. And that's, I think, why AEW means so much to us, because we've all seen these guys in the Cruise setting. We've seen them interacting with the fans. We've seen how they are with each other. And you don't always get to see that with any other company.
Gives you more motivation to root for him.
Yeah, like when I watch AEW,
Yep. Oh,
I know they're
God.
not my friend, but I feel like I'm rooting for friends. I feel like I'm rooting for people that are just like so deserving of everything they have that I want them to have more.
Well, I've seen them get to be me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen them be me instead of Luchasaurus, or instead of Nick and Matt Jackson, you met Nick and Matt Macy, Massey or whatever. Like, like for example, for us that year with, with Tyler and his girlfriend, like
Yeah.
they're like your summer camp friends, dude. I mean, I'm never going to talk to them ever again in my life, but that cruise, we were buddies and helped him out with his girlfriend and stuff, and whatnot. So it was cool. Like I said, I consider him a cruise friend of mine per se,
No, it's that your summer camp analogy gets me. I think it's so true because it is. It's
Mhm.
like, by day 3, you're hanging out with him, and I just remember I was so over it because one of the first things I ever said to Luchasaurus is, I'm like, I also have a master's degree. It's just a boring business. And he went, it's not boring. You still got a master's. And just him just retorting back, because I don't know. I was just so nervous that my brain was like, say this. I don't know why he decided to say it. I don't know why he said I have one too.
Well, yeah, because I was like, I got a bachelor's in history. I don't have masters, I'm not as cool, but
But it was like, I don't know. I just want to be like, I understand how much work you did. Like, obviously, you have your degree too. Like, college is a lot of work, and you're a fucking dinosaur, and you rule. But
yeah.
Can we fast forward a little bit as well?
well, I don't want to go too much because we're going to the Hurt Syndicate.
No, we're fast forwarding the week. So we saw Jurassic Express win this money at Wrestledream. And then on Dynamite, or was it Collision? On Collision, they won more money with Jet Speed, right?
Cam says he's going to buy a tail.
Yeah, like Cam says a tail, I say a tail. What the fuck they gonna buy?
I just said hopefully he doesn't fuel his car, because otherwise it's going to be a really sad vignette when he realizes the gasoline he's putting in.
Like, but for real, guys, they have all this money accumulating. What are they buying?
Dino Nugs. He's going to buy Dino Nugs.
Yeah, I'm not sure. That's the thing. Who knows?
No,
Maybe he buys the Young Bucks. Maybe he buys the young Bucks services.
What if they bought?
He's
like,
like,
their
oh yeah,
trademarks?
bitches.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm just saying, what if he buys all their shit and is like, now you guys work for me?
Yeah, that'd be funny. Can you imagine if Jurassic Express buy their gear, they come out like old school 2019 Bucks with the tassels and the gear.
Tassels.
Like the shoes that they left behind and shit. What if they start wearing those?
Oh yeah, the ones
Well.
maybe Brandon sold them. That would be a good story. I've turned out Brandon sold all their shoes. Yeah, there's lots, and I think that's why everyone hates those money matches. I like that TK took that hate and made it part of the Young Bucks gimmick now. Like, that's why I do money
Yes.
matches, because the Young Bucks are begging me for money, so I'm making them earn it. Like, great way to turn criticism into a story. And we have another one that has a lot of criticism. I still like the story. I think people just need to let it play out before they get their panties in a twist. But we have the Hurt Syndicate taking on the Demand, and shockingly, the Hurt Syndicate won. I really thought the Demand was going to get that trio shot based on how everything was going, but the Hurt Syndicate pulled off the victory, and obviously didn't go so well for the trios, and they're still in it. But what'd you guys think of the Hurt Syndicate? I mean, St. Louis definitely was cheering them the entire time. They were super over coming out.
Well, yeah, they were. Everybody loved him. They started in "We Hurt People," and that was going the whole time. But I thought the match was good. I knew that the Hurt Syndicate was going to win. I mean, like, they're really big people. So putting somebody
A
that
lot of
is
them are.
itty bitty up against him, like, who's going to win. Come on now, like, make it a little bit more.
Well, Ricochet definitely looked like the odd man out
Yes,
in the
he
match. I mean,
Yeah.
I think to kind of illuminate her point a little bit, it was definitely obvious with Ricochet. But I do think that this, kind of like I talked about the ordering of these matches, bringing up that intensity and bringing up that excitement and whatnot. I do think they still had a very good management level of this. We're for 7 matches in, and I feel like they really did a good job of bringing us up, bringing us down. I feel like this is another kind of down one after that really good match in front of it. hard to follow, right? So I
Mhm.
thought they did a really good job, by slowing down the pace of this match. There's still some good spots, still some exciting spots, and stuff like that. So they did bring it back, but I thought the pacing and everything else of this really, was good for that particular purpose. But yeah, Hurt Syndicate was definitely over. A lot of chants, a lot of whooping. So it was fun to watch. Pretty good match for the most part. But yeah,
I think I enjoyed MVP going for the ball and the entire crowd going. And
yeah,
it just brought me back to
oh yeah,
2005. It brought me
yep.
back
I
to
said that to her.
like 2008, like old school WWE. I remember going to WrestleMania and him hitting the ball and the entire crowd. So hearing that again is
Oh,
like, oh,
everybody.
that little nostalgia. Like,
Hmm.
it's the stupidest thing, but I've always loved it about MVP because like it's just like how Jericho always talks about those got a good chance, a chance to get over it. The fact that he got something so silly as ball it over with a crowd and it's still over is a testament to him.
Yep.
I was a little disappointed.
Were you disappointed because the demand lost?
I predicted the Hurt Syndicate, as did you.
I
Yeah,
know,
I was the
Um,
demand. I was the heel
but
on
I
the.
was shocked.
I was the only
I
one.
wanted a new member. I am dying to see a new member come in, especially knowing Cedric Alexander is available. Where is the man? We have been waiting like a year for this man to show up
Blood
in
and
the Hurt
guts.
Syndicate.
I was gonna say, yeah, I still feel like there's. You're right, Emily. There's still because MVP's
Something.
kind of shown that he's been a liability, but then he helped. Then he was also the person that was choked out by Samoa Joe to lose. So he's shown that he can be there, but he's still a liability. So I think that's the story they're telling, and I think that's what people are getting upset about. Oh, they already had the street fight. I'm like, they haven't really had the blow off yet. They've kind of had the street fight to show one thing, but they haven't had that true match to squash the feud because they got cost of trios. I could see a triple threat for the trios and have it be something that finally screws. There's so many ways it can go, and I think it was a good match. I think it sets up further stories. Ricochet and
Mhm.
MVP have great chemistry together. I'm excited. Let it play out. As long as they don't drag it into the mud, I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
But speaking of good, best of 5. I think this is going to go best of 7 now. The 5th match between Kyle Fletcher and Mark Briscoe. The 4 previous matches were barn burners. The 5th one did not disappoint. Kyle Fletcher, to the chagrin of Rachael, because Rachael wanted Mark Briscoe, because Briscoe is our boy. We all wanted him. We all love him. But Fletcher
Yeah. Heart,
retains
heart picking.
his sixth defense. Still not a fucking pink title yet, Fletcher, but his 6th title defense. So Rachel, I know you're not happy about it because Briscoe lost, but what are your thoughts on Briscoe and Fletcher?
It was a really, really good match. I really thought Briscoe, there was a couple of times I really thought he was going to win it. Um, I don't like Don Callis, but of course nobody does.
Emily's
But,
favorite.
and yes, and I knew, of course, we were going to see blood because I mean, both of them like that. But I know Briscoe's got it coming. I just can't wait to see him win something. Like it's really coming. But it was a really good match. I think they both can fight well against one another, and they've done it so much together. They know how each other works now, so they work well in the ring together. So.
I like it.
I would say this is definitely up there for one of the better matches of the night. Um, kind of on her end, yeah. I mean, heart pick. Everybody wants Mark. We all understand his story. He also has been coming a long way in his single stuff. He's getting a lot of television time. This conglomeration stuff. He's definitely one of the guys involved in it. Oh, okay.
I have to get water.
Oh, okay. See ya. But anyway, I feel like in this match, Mark really did make Fletcher earn this one in a lot of different respects because I felt like, Mark did kind of control the majority of this match, in my opinion. So I felt like, Mark, of course, has a pretty hard hitting style in comparison to Fletcher. So I thought Mark definitely, kind of made him step up his game and kind of earned a different, got to check something different off of his list of defenses, with this real hard hitting, physical, beat your ass style. So, but yeah, definitely thought it was a great match. And I thought Fletcher definitely had to show that he could earn it and take an ass whooping and still win a match. So,
I agree on that one. What about you? Do you have thoughts on this one?
I don't have much to say on this, honestly. Like, I like both the guys, and it was just,
mhm.
I'm someone that seeing a match so many times, it's hard, but they're both so good that I don't mind seeing them multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Good
like the
chemistry.
Lucha Brothers versus the Bucks. You know,
Mm,
by the 7th one, I'm sorry, I'm just tired of it.
yeah,
But I love them.
Yeah, see,
that's the word.
I'm gonna have to disagree. I understand what you're saying. I'm not saying that's not. I love a best of 7 when it's done naturally. I think the Lucha Brothers, when they announced it ahead of time, it was best of
Stretch it
7.
out.
Well, that's why I think this one can work with a
Yes,
best of
like
7.
you said, organically move that direction, not
Yeah,
just tell us.
I think if you say it's gonna be a best of 7, you already kind of know
That's the easy way out.
it's not the World Series. You know, it's not gonna be. Is there gonna be a sweep? Is it gonna be Game 6? No, you know it's gonna go all 7 because they're gonna have that 3-4. It's not gonna be
Trauma.
like it's going to be Red Sox Yankees 2004. So come down to the wire. It's going to be that crazy comeback, some sort of storytelling device. I
Yes.
think with Briscoe, right now his back's against the wall. If you do a best of 7, have him win the next one, and then that 7th one could be for the title. Like you have to beat me in an
Yes.
eliminator match, and then the 7th one's for the title, and then Fletcher's back to the wall because Mark Briscoe has nothing to lose but everything to gain, and then Rachel can get a great moment. And we can all be happy because Briscoe will hold gold, and that's what I think the TNT title could represent. Is it's those workhorses.
Yes.
Since Briscoe officially became all elite, especially after the passing of his brother and him switching to the single, not doing tag team out of respect, he's been that guy who he can take a loss and it doesn't hurt him. He can go with everyone, and he's the one you reward with that title. He's kind of like that Mick Foley. Like I've said before, he's like that Mick Foley. When Mrs. Foley's baby boy did it, like how awesome was that moment on Raw when he won the world title? And
Yeah.
you could have that moment where it's the same kind of moment where Briscoe and Fletcher, and someone comes out and hits Fletcher with a chair and puts Briscoe on him and helps Briscoe finally overcome the evil Don Callis family. Maybe that's how Takeshita turns, and maybe he lays out his old proto-shitta saying, puts Briscoe on there just to say, like, you, Don, I'm on my own. Like, I'm going to take all your golds. Like, there's ways you could do it, and I think it's fantastic. I think Fletcher's on another level. I think Mark Briscoe's deserving it. I think Callis needs to, like Rachel said, stay off the TV much. I can only see the human hot dog so much.
Well,
Yes.
and I will say this, since we were there and with chanting and whatnot, here's my thing. Okay, I understand the fuck Don Callis chants. I participated in a couple of them myself. So I'm totally okay with that. But when we're in the match and Don Callis isn't doing shit and he's just sitting at the fucking commentary table, I'm not chanting that shit.
Right, it
I
doesn't make
think it
sense.
takes, no, I feel like I told her a couple times during several of these matches, I'm like, I feel like that takes away from it. Like, I wouldn't chant it because it's just like, Don Callis has nothing to do with this right now. Like, if we were watching at home and we hear him on commentary say something, then you can say it. But we're all here live. We don't hear shit. He's
Right.
sitting at the fucking table doing nothing.
Yeah, it's like them trying to become almost like high.
So I just will say that out loud. I feel like that's stupid. Yeah,
It's like
and
when
that
the
was
women
why I
are
told her. I said,
wrestling and
motherfucker's
they
trying to
chant a
hijack the
man's
show right
name.
now.
It really
Yeah,
pisses
or,
me off when
stuff
we're
like that. So,
live at a show and you have the females are in the ring and they are dominating. They are doing amazing things, and then you get a stupid CM Punk chant or whoever, like
right.
Adam Cole chant going. Like, shut the fuck up. They're not here. They are. Watch who's in the ring.
Right.
Cheer for who is in the ring. Shut the fuck up. I'm
Yeah.
so over that. Like,
that's why I said the other day I was
Hate
over
it,
the
hate
what chant when Tony Storm was doing a promo, like the what chant, like
oh,
that one drives me
Oh,
nuts.
yeah.
But no, I
And
agree.
I mean,
So go ahead.
no, I was just going to say the one, it was good for a while. And, it was nice, but we're past it. And I mean,
it's
I'd
been
be the
20
one that
years.
participated with you back doing that 10 years ago. Maybe I'd have still done that with you. But yeah, I haven't done that thing in years.
And I think there's always a time and a place, and it's always going to happen because you're always going to get those smarky fans who want to be the show. But yeah, I agree. If Don Callis is cutting a promo, boo the shit out of him. Tell him to go fuck himself, and he's cutting a promo.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the ring. He's getting heat. Give him heat. Like you said, when you're at a live event, he's sitting at the announce table. You can't hear him. It's almost like a slap in the face of the performers. Like they're trying to gauge your reactions to perform.
Yep.
Not Don Callis isn't gonna like. Even he'd probably tell you like, "Hey man, I'm getting heat on the TV outage right now. You get heat, and get love on the people in the ring." I agree. It's just it's gonna happen, and like you said, it's gonna take away. But
It's like when we had Chris Statlander telling people to shut the fuck up at Limitless Wrestling.
that's a good segue to the next match.
Like, it is
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, like you had Britt Baker at the cruise. Everyone's chanting for Adam Cole. She goes, "He's not here right now, but I am." Little things like that.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
come on. Like, they are not in the ring. They are not the show at the moment.
And
It's just respect.
it's not even so much respect as it is to it makes you almost look silly, like when you're cheering for something that doesn't even exist. Like you said, the CM Punk chants back in the day, or when people were bored, and then the what chants were when people were bored. It's just sometimes it's almost like he's like, you're that bored, then just shut up and like watch whatever, and then I don't know. You can be more creative with chants. There's more creative
Yes.
chants. Like if you really want to fuck, you
Yeah.
can say like Kyle's a bitch or something like that when he's wrestling. Get him to like go crazy and like shut up. Like there's ways you can have fun.
Now, yes. Now I will say this: I did think the crowd was really good this time. So I'll always tell her when we're at live shows, when both wrestlers are down, if there's not a clap going on, like the
Yep.
slow clap to the fast clap, how the fuck are you a wrestling fan and at a live event if both wrestlers are down and you don't start to clap? One of my pet peeves for some reason. I don't know why, but I will say this show. I mean, they were almost too quick on it. I loved it that they did it, but there was a bunch of times that they did it. It was like, damn it,
Right.
and then they were too fast, and I'm like, these motherfuckers are clapping way too fast already. We didn't start off slow enough, but I
Yeah.
appreciated that at least we had some fans that were with it.
You're
I
like,
did
go watch
appreciate
Peter
that.
Pan. Go watch Peter Pan to get the rhythm. It's Tinkerbell clapping. It's not.
Yeah, slow.
It's like when you
That
start.
they were fast.
It's like that scene in Not Another Teen Movie where he wants to start to slow clap the entire movie, and then at the end he's like, oh, "This is my moment," and he's getting ready to start a slow clap, and the guy next to him's like,
And he's like, yep, that's exactly it.
But no, yeah, I agree, and I will say a match that we all predicted, we all kind of knew would help cement Statlander. We had Statlander defeating Timeless Tony, getting her first singles victory over Statlander. I mean, over Tony, and Statlander kind of getting her first one-on-one with Tony. I think the match delivered. It went a little bit shorter than I thought. I thought it was going to go longer. It went about 16 minutes, but both women killed it. I think Tony played off very well with Statlander and really gave her a lot. My favorite spot before I ask is friggin' Statlander countering the pile driver by doing like a handstand. I was like,
Yeah.
holy shit, I have never seen anyone counter that before like that. Such athleticism. I think they both women tore it up. So Rachel, what do you think? What did you think of Statlander and Tony Storm?
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I like the fact that Statlander finally won against Timeless Tony Storm. I think that she's going to be on the next couple of pay-per-views. I think she's going to be going up against her title and having to represent that. So I do see that, but I think Timeless is going to take a break and go off and then come back, in a couple of months and reinvent herself. I see that happening. So
Can't disagree with that particular portion of her statement because I feel the same way. Tony's had such a long run and she's had some fucking brutal matches. And I mean, let's be honest, she's bumped the shit out of stuff for people, even when she was a champ. That was one thing I appreciated about this. I thought it was a good match as well. Thought both women did very well. I thought Tony definitely was very, very giving, like you said in this match. Not to say anything about Chris, it had nothing to do with that. It's just Tony, I felt like worked really hard to make Chris look even better than maybe she, thought she wanted to. You know what I mean? But she was selling everything, doing everything. Of course, like the little respectful friend thing at the end type thing. But yeah, same way. I think Tony's due for a break, and I don't, like she said, some type of reinvention of her character to come back and smash it again when she comes back. So, especially because now she's going to have to reinvent character to be without the title for a little bit, because now it's Chris's turn to have a little bit of a run. So
I like it.
Well, she's going to reinvent herself back into a year ago after her loss at All In. She went to New Japan, right? Or Stardom?
She went to Stardom.
Stardom, and she tag teamed up with Mina. And now we're seeing that come back. So I think that it's interesting to see Mina and Tony playing out again. Really excited for this tag team to develop. And I think that this is a great way for Tony to kind of mix in her innuendos with a new character. I think that she can still get away with the promos that she was cutting, but
Hmm.
also develop a little newer. I don't want Timeless to completely go away. I just want to see the next era of development.
Well, and that'd be smart too, because then you have another. If they're going to do that for a little micro break for her, so to speak, I guess, then that boosts your women's tag division
Yeah.
as well, because then there's another very viable tag team. Plus, everybody knows they've wrestled together too, so
Yeah.
that's
And their
very
chemistry is
obvious.
great.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, I think it would be fantastic. I was happy. I knew Statlander would win.
Hmm.
Was not happy at first of Mercedes coming out, big timing her. When
Hmm.
kind of rubbed me the wrong way because I've never been a fan of the whole upstaging thing. I know it was all planned for the interference afterwards. I know it was all planned kind of for the next storyline they're setting up, two of them fighting at Full Gear. I just thought it was kind of out of place. And then, Mercedes coming out doing the open challenge against Mina. Again, a little disappointing because it's like you've beat Mina like how many times in a row? You took her titles.
Hmm.
And I get the story. I understand that, she's Mercedes can't win the big one. She can't win the world title, so she's collecting every single belt she can to feel better about herself. I understand it. I just think it was a bad spot. I understand they were trying to do I think Statlander could have run in afterwards and still set the story. I think the big timing at the beginning, it was just a little weird, made the flow a little weird, but
She got karma.
yeah, I was gonna say she definitely got some karma. I just think it took a little bit away from the Statler mix. I really wanted that kind of her to get that rub from Tony because she beat Tony. She beat that 4-time women's champion. She solidified herself. I know she's
It
getting
did kind of deflate it pretty
so
quick
it
for
was
us.
a little. I don't think I would have done it personally that way. It was good, but it just wasn't my style. But yeah, for Mercedes beating Mina, I mean, not really a shocking. The only thing shocking is it's an interim title, so that was a little strange. But Red Velvet's already calling for her shot, calling for
Hmm.
her unification
All
match.
that.
So, what do you think? I mean, I know it's kind of expected. Do you think Mercedes and Mina was fun, or what did you kind of think of the match, guys?
I went to the bathroom on that one because we already knew Mercedes was going to win. I mean, what is that? Like her 11th belt? Because then the
At
next
that
night she
time,
got the 12th.
yes, I think it
So,
is.
I mean, come
Because
on.
that made her Ultimo.
Yeah. And enough's enough. So, but yeah, I wasn't. It was a time for everybody, I think, to go to the bathroom. I think it was like, the seventh inning
It,
stretch, basically, because everybody kind of got up because
well,
y'all
it's
kind
a
of
flow.
knew, I mean, so
As,
I,
as far as night flow of matches, yes, fit right in with that because, like you said, I stayed and watched, of course, and along with a lot of other people. But yeah, it was kind of. I hate to use that filler type terminology for it because none of the matches are actually filler. But you know what I mean. It definitely was kind of that down. Hey, get your drink, do whatever, come back. And you'll get to see some spots and everything else. I thought they did all right with that. It was definitely nice to see Mina get some more spotlight, because I always nice to promote somebody else. And if you're in there with Mercedes, whether people like her or not, she can fucking work, she's pretty much shown that she can work with anybody and put out a pretty quality match. I thought there was a couple choppy spots in this, but like I said, most of the time I'm okay with that. So, but yeah, for what it was and its spot in the card, it did what it needed to do. But yeah, I wish I would have got to see something maybe a little bit different. So.
Yeah, yeah. No, it just to me it felt like it was a Dynamite segment. Like it kind of felt like a TV segment put on a card. And I understand, you put
A
Mercedes
collision
on the card.
match.
Yeah, just it kind of felt like it. It almost not disrupted the flow, but it almost kind of felt like it was very. You could tell it was last minute because they didn't want to give away the results of her going to Mexico beating Persephone. But it almost kind of felt like, oh, here's Mercedes, and yeah, it. Again,
Yeah.
I'm not poo pooing on her or the match. It was a good match. I love Mina. I wanted Mina to win. I wanted somehow like even if it was disqualification, Mina to
Yes.
get a victory. Like that's where I thought Statlander was going to come back and cost her that belt to set it up, but.
Mm-mm.
Her making Mercedes wear cake all over her face because Harley was under the table with a puppet on Dynamite made up for it, and I like it because it's gonna set it Full Gear. Mercedes is gonna lose the world title again for the second time, and she's gonna spiral and start dropping belts. So
Yep, it's coming.
I think it's gonna lead up to something. But I will tell
Yeah.
you what quickly woke me back up and got me put a pep in my step was that next tag team match. Brodito versus the Don Callis family. Can they coexist in full motion with Takeshita and Okada? Big match. Okada is back. If people who say Okada doesn't want to wrestle, then they didn't watch this match. Holy crap, the chemistry that all four of these men had in this match. Another match of the night contender. Still doesn't beat Jurassic Express, but it was definitely number 3. Like, if you had to pick 3 matches, this was definitely up there. And I love me some Brodito. And Brody finally hit the fucking Macarena. I was so happy.
He did. And they worked hard on this match. Like this, they all 4 worked very hard, and it was a very good match. Lots of flips and turns, and it was amazing. I was impressed.
Some good
with
false
it.
finishes.
Yeah, I really liked it. So I was really impressed, actually. So it was a good one. No complaints.
Yeah, definitely up there. And I mean, look, we're talking what the matches are. We only have 2 more left, and we've already said 2 of the tag matches are definitely 2 of the top 3 matches of the night. So, like you were talking, you can definitely see the effort they're putting into the tag division. Because, I'm with you. That exact sentiment when they said they were starting this shit, it was going to be a very heavy focus on tag teams. Well, now we have that both men and women wise. So, that's really exciting because right now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tag matches out of 11 matches so far, both men and women. So, that's promising to see people do what they say they're going to do, I guess, in a lot of ways, because, it's wrestling. We hear and, whatever, lots of things. But yeah, great chemistry. They all worked hard. Love some of the false finishes because, of course, me, I picked the heels to win this match just to be that Oppo Taco guy and pick something different. And same kind of difference. They definitely got close to proving me right.
They did.
And then
I thought they did. I was like, oh, they pulled it off.
I know. And then the implosion happened, which we all knew was going to happen. They almost worked through the first one. And then, of course, second or whatever it was finally, was the last draw. But yeah, great overall match. Was really excited to see this one. Good energy, good spots. So yeah, very good match.
I like it.
The Don Callis family, I just have to say, they have so many people, and there's only so many belts to collect. I understand Takeshita and Okada going for the tag titles, don't get me wrong. But you've got a whole ass roster, and those 2 already have gold. Don, you are not utilizing your men correctly. And I think that that's going to turn on you. I think that you have too many toys in the toy box. I think that you've got too much going on. And you need to wipe the ketchup off your face and get to work.
Wipe ketchup. Oh, boy.
However, this tandem style of Brodito, give me it every freaking show. Give me Brodito. I absolutely love Brody King. Absolutely love Bandito. Yeah. Together, they are fucking magic. Give me them all the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
And Okada and Takeshi, like I said, I felt like they really worked hard in this match for those guys to really put them over. Like, I felt like they really put in a great effort.
Okada bumped his ass off.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I told her, I'm like, damn, like, I'm kind of surprised how much people were selling for each other. Not, not really, but like, some of it was like, damn, no big timing was going on in that fucking match. That's awesome to see.
And I still love that he pulled his heelish shit out, like Okada doing the Macarena with middle fingers. Oh my god, I was dying when he was just like flipping off and doing the Macarena, like, and then just the insane Rainmaker spot. Then Bandito hitting the Rainmaker. I'm still gonna say it. Bandito's been my wrestler of the year. I've said since July. He's still in that conversation. Singles wrestler, tag team wrestler, trios. I have yet to see a bad Bandito match or a match where I've said, man, Bandito sucks. Wow. And then Brody King, the fact that people didn't realize how good he was until that, he's been good. I think the problem is the gimmick sometimes overshadowed how him and Darby hit their matches, like seeing how dominant he could be. Him and Buddy, Buddy when they had their tag matches. I like seeing this chemistry, and I think that could be a wrinkle when Buddy comes back. What happens? Especially who's going to be the next challenger? Is it going to be Jurassic Express? Is it going to be the Young Bucks? Is it going to be Jet Speed? There's 4 teams vying for those belts at Full Gear, and Bandito's starting to get hurt. Brody's trying to keep him confident, so there's some cracks. There's some cracks. They're not perfect.
And you saw Okada do a different style of a tombstone.
Well, he kind of did. He kind of did jumping too. So it's not really. He doesn't.
But he
he's
hit
been
his
doing
shoulder instead of his neck.
Oh, the shoulder breaker. Yes.
So he went for a different moveset to kind of break Bandito down, and it didn't work.
And that's one thing Okada's great at doing. If he knows you have a weakness, he's a shark. Like when Kenny Omega had the neck and he kept going after the neck, or when he had the core and he kept going after the core, and that's one thing I appreciate about these matches. And another person who's great at that is Samoa Joe, and that's the next one we have is Hangman Samoa.
Hold
Joe.
on, before we go.
Sorry, I guess.
Holy cow! Since you just said that, holy shit, we didn't even fucking mention it about the Jurassic Express Young Bucks match. Mentioning Kenny fucking Omega like you just did. Are we all kidding ourselves here?
I forgot.
Did we all forget about that?
It's just so much happened.
Until
Yeah,
just now. I know, and I'm like, holy fuck, we totally forgot to talk about Kenny Omega coming out in that match at the end.
And he returned the favor to Jack Perry.
Exactly. So I just had to get that in there real quick beforehand because you totally just reminded me too. So I'm like, oh my God, I totally forgot about it as well.
I know. And if it wasn't for an unfortunate injury, we could have had the Golden Lovers potentially on this pay-per-view. Get well, Ibushi. He's already standing.
Yeah,
he's already standing.
Seen him doing wheelchair workouts already.
Crazy man. And you know what? They say it's a badge.
He said he was coming back earlier
to break your femur. I don't know what badge of honor it is, but apparently it's the hardest bone to break, and he did.
It is.
Obviously, he had some stress fractures, but get well soon because I really thought we were going to get the Golden Lovers versus some sort of members of the Don Callis family, but it's nice to see Kenny's still kind of involved in it, and it'll be curious to see, like you said, is he gonna? He kind of teased the Young Bucks reunion too. He kind of gave the Young Bucks a little bit of a look when they were walking off, like, "Hey, I'm still here. I didn't forget about you."
Yep.
Young Bucks are in that.
Exactly.
Shit! A lot of people are coming after us phase.
Yep.
They have some
stuff starting to pay it forward now.
Yep.
But I will say, Hangman Adam Page, it definitely delivered. I thought this was going to be one and done, but Samoa Joe definitely didn't. Hangman would get the win, but Samoa Joe would get the upper hand.
He'd get the final.
After Hangman won a brutal match where Samoa Joe threw everything he could at him, the Ops beat the hell out of him. Full heel turn. I mean, they were never really good guys. They called themselves the Ops. They were never really truly good, but they just showed their ruthlessness. Joe does not want Hangman to have the title. While Joe is breathing, he does not want Hangman to have the title. So, what were your thoughts on the world title match?
I thought it was a really good fight. I liked a couple of false finishes that they had. I knew Hangman was going to come on top. I knew the Ops was going to come out, but I didn't know if they were going to beat the holy shit out of him.
You thought that respect handshake, didn't you?
Yeah, I didn't know that they were going to turn like that. Like they were going to be, boo on Samoa Joe for, beating him up and stuff and bringing out your Ops. So, but I see this story continuing. I see that Samoa Joe and Hangman are going to come face to face again because Samoa Joe just really doesn't like Hangman having it, like you said. So.
And he's got that fatal 4-way. If he wins, he's going to Full Gear for part 2. So, you could be right.
I thought the crowd was actually pretty split during this match. I don't know what it sounded like
50-50
on the television.
Sure.
Okay, because there was a lot of Joe. I was really surprised there wasn't more Hangman. But, I actually felt this one was kind of like that Mark Fletcher match in a lot of ways. Because Joe did beat the hell out of Hangman. I mean, he did his thing, got a lot of his stuff in, and I mean, pretty much dominated majority of the match. We did get to see our walkaway there. Whenever he tried doing that one turnbuckle spot, and we were laughing.
I love it.
And then of course, loved the finish because I called that there was going to be something fishy like that with a handshake of respect. And I think I was one of the few people cheering whenever they started beating the hell out of him because I was clapping and standing up and cheering. There wasn't many other people.
When Joe was laying him out and Shibata was beating him down, I'm like, Jeff is in that crowd with a smile from ear to ear because he called this on the prediction show that Joe is like,
Yep.
Because you've been a TNA fan, so you've known Joe for years. You knew he was never going to be the one that's always going to be the happy-go-lucky face.
No.
He's going to make you earn every
He'll
inch
give
of
you respect, but yeah, you're going to have to earn it, and even then, you might have to do more. But no, overall, very good match. Like I said, a lot of hard-hitting spots and a definitely good showcase for Hangman as far as surviving and still coming out with the W, which you have to be as a champion. So,
All right, what about you, Em? Any thoughts on the Hangman Joe match?
My thoughts were yikes, hard hitting, fantastic, and Joe's never off of his game, and Hangman is gonna go strong. I think Hangman's great at chasing the title, but also we all want to see him keep it. So it's one of those like usually someone's either really good at chasing it or really good at holding it. He is such a great baby face. I just love watching him in the ring.
Better run for sure than the last time.
Yes, and like Hangman as a person, I just really enjoy like watching his interactions with fans. Goes back to the cruise.
oh yeah, super cool.
Yeah, just him in general. Like I just really enjoy his vibes, everything that he gives off, and he's so deserving of this.
No, I couldn't say more. I think you guys all said it the best. I love Samoa Joe.
He's got a title.
I would have been upset if Samoa Joe lost only because I didn't want Hangman's run to end. I wouldn't have been upset that Joe is champion because Samoa Joe's champion is always going to make me happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, Hangman can't lose it yet. But I absolutely love the ruthlessness of Joe in this match. I love Hangman having to hit 3 buckshot lariats to put him down. Like it wasn't just one and done. It was I have to throw everything at you. Definitely an old school respect match. Another strong style match. I think that was the theme of the night. Is all the matches were hard hitting. I hope these guys got some vacation or some icy hot after because there's no way they weren't sore.
Oh yeah. Well, and I will say this point too. Sometime, yeah, Joe got love from the St. Louis crowd as 50-50, but when's Joe going to get a dub in a world championship match in St. Louis? Because
I
right
was just
now
going to say he's 0-2 now.
they stripped him of the title to Swerve, which not to say we all didn't love. And then now he, had a good controlling match and still got beaten. So St. Louis, they got to have another pay-per-view, I guess, next year to where Joe can actually fucking win.
Right? Maybe that can be his final run because he's talked about retirement and he'll have a good one. But yeah. I agree. I was thinking that too. I'm like, man, St. Louis has not been good in AEW for him. It was good in TNA, but it has not been good in AEW.
Yeah.
So he obviously does not like the old arch. Which to
Well,
point that out before we get to the main event, how cool was that entranceway with the fucking St. Louis arch?
We thought that was neat too. That's why we were sending out pictures right away of the stage and setup because we thought that was neat. Oh, and a fun fact, now that you said that, I want to say when I saw Joe in the Lethal Lockdown, I think it was 2007, when they first started traveling for TNA, we went, I want to say he lost that night too.
Oh, no.
He was in the Lethal Lockdown match, which is that main event kind of Hell in a Cell
I think they
type,
did lose.
thing with everybody. And I feel like his team lost on that too. So it's like, oh my gosh, I think Joe's 0-3 in my pay-per-view life in St. Louis.
Oh, no. But someone who got rid of the O's, someone who finally got a dub.
Yeah.
Darby Allin made Moxley quit in a wild match, which, again, there's a lot of controversy on the finish, but we learned afterwards that the St. Louis Athletic Commission basically doesn't let you do anything that's fun. No bleeding and not a lot of mayhem. So obviously they did the best they could with the restrictions they had in place, but before we get to the actual match itself, it's Sting. Holy shit, old man Sting, because that was the probably moment of the pay-per-view. We were both speechless. I have to. What was the vibe like in the arena when the lights came on? Sting's is in the ring.
They went crazy.
As soon as the lights went off, we'll just be all honest, we knew. And then you could see his silhouette obviously getting in. So you knew somebody. But I will say when they did pop the lights on and shit, like his silhouette, because we were not on camera side, so we were camera side looking at him. We're behind, but off to this side, so we're kind of seeing it slightly sideways, but central. but his silhouette was real cool with the like the pointy beard he's got going on and the long hair. So his like silhouette and profile was pretty cool looking. I will say that it looked pretty badass. But yeah, oh my God, everybody fucking popped their asses off, and they all knew it, but it didn't matter.
Right?
So now go ahead, Rachel.
That I thought this fight should have went longer. I was surprised that it was as fast as it was. Uh,
The
I was
regulations
like,
and
this.
restrictions were
I was like, this is it. Like,
definitely hurt it.
what happened? I think Sting coming out was huge, was really big. I think he's always going to come out for Darby. So I like that. I think he's always going to have Darby's back regardless. I was glad to see that Darby won. I don't think it's over. I think that they're going to have another match, and I think that this other match they're going to have is going to be a lot worse. So I just didn't like the fact that it was so short. Like, this was it.
Watch
Like,
desired, yeah.
yeah. So I was a little let down on that, but
Okay. Well, this was the big one I really was looking forward to talking about here because this one.
Oh no.
Had to be different about, and then you were talking about, I had kind of forgotten about some of those restrictions that were limited to the area. I kind of forgot a little bit about that because I think that was kind of a weird spot to pick this type of matches when you can't do the things that those two are going to do. I kind of totally forgot about your anticipation and what your previous, thoughts and everything else. They definitely varied from that, which was good. But so I'm going to just throw it out there. The aquarium spot, I like it because it was different. It kind of plays off the bag because it's that same type thing. Yes, most of us know Darby has training. All the people that were going ape shit over this being whatever, Darby has training. He can hold his breath for like 3 fucking minutes or some shit. And they didn't even get close to that. I mean, whatever. So I understand it. It was a little weird for us because, of course, we were opposite camera side. So they're doing a camera side, but like Moxley and all their backs are to us. So then they finally kind of spun it around and did it a little bit facing us. So we were able to see it. And I mean, it was okay. I just thought it was a little different. And then the ending was weird completely for us.
yeah, we
So-
didn't even hear him say, "I quit."
Yeah, so I'll throw that out. Most I Quit matches have a microphone and a referee that goes around, and when you're being put in a hold or some type
They
of
put it up
precarious
to you, yep.
situation, you quit. No, fuck you, or whatever. We just thought it was really weird because we didn't see the ending. Nobody did shit. I guess he kind of tapped with emotion. We
It
did
was-
not hear I Quit. We did not see an official tap. I thought I saw one, and I said, did that count as an I Quit? And for us, that was just really awkward because we couldn't see it. And then all of a sudden they're saying, and winner. And we're like, well, wait, what? So I will say it was very weird finish, timing wise and everything else. And I also thought it was a really weak maneuver, even though I know we're passing torches. And that was so awesome for the passing the torch stuff from Sting. And now, yeah, Darby has some new moves to be able to use, but I just thought that was not the way to finish that. That's my own personal opinion. So now I want to definitely hear the people that were able to hear it all, see it all, versus us that was limited. So please tell me what your guys' thoughts are, please.
So yeah, when it happened on TV, it was hard because like I think same thing. It was very much confusing. I'll admit I had to watch it a second time to kind of digest what happened. Because the same thing, I'm like, John Moxley threw everything at Darby, and then Darby hits him with a knee, Scorpion Death Drop, Scorpion Deathlock, and it's over. Like, huh? Like he wasn't really drowning in the water. He wasn't like facing a lot of adversity. But it was the announcers after, and I think that's what's hard because, like you said, with the live crowd, they didn't translate this to the live crowd enough. They were talking about what a coward he was, and they were talking about how there was broken glass and water, and how I think that's the story they're trying to play is that Moxley's just talk a big game, can do all these things, but he's kind of a bitch. Like the second he faces real adversity, he's tapping
Running
out.
away
But,
or
yeah, I think production wise, they could have made it come off a little bit better. Because maybe have a microphone and maybe have him doing something like holding the flag while he had the submission or something like crazy. I
Stuff
think
it in his mouth, where he's like, "Oh no," you know, or
Yeah.
even to put it by the water. Well, you know what I mean, like
just enhance it a little bit to
They could
tell a
have done
story.
a
Something-
submission while he was in the tank. There's so many things that they
something
could
was
have
off.
done.
Yeah,
Something was off.
wasn't sure if it was timing or it just. And again, I think with AEW, I know like we've had like the exploding death match that had a weird thing.
Oh, rushed.
We've had things. It is what it is at this point. I don't think it really took away from this show. I just think it was one of those. Oh, that could have been better.
So, I don't know if you guys are aware. I have a fear of glass because I cut my foot on a fish tank as a kid. I have a scar still from the stitches I had. If it wasn't for the neighbors coming and helping at the apartment complex, I could have bled out. Like, it was really, really bad. Like, I saw my bone in my foot. So for me to see the aquarium, I was like, okay, Darby holds his breath. Like, that's fine. And then when they smashed the glass, that's when I cringed. That's the spot that got me. Like, I know how thick that glass is. I know how, I literally know how that feels. And I was like, oh, I don't want anyone to land on that. Like, that was my cringe spot that maybe not everybody else is cringy about, but, like, that's what I'm cringy about. And then the spot that also got me in the beginning was the skewers under the fingernail.
Oh, yeah. That was gross.
I was like, that is absolutely disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
Yeah, that one was definitely got a few people.
All right, so to wrap up Wrestledream, I'll just go around and have everybody just give what you think a letter grade is, or on the show itself, and then we'll get into the cruise. But I'm just curious, kind of what everyone says. So I guess, what do you think? We'll start with Rachel, go to Jeff, Emily, and myself. What would you
give it a B+.
B+, all right.
B+. I was going to go more not letter ranking, but I guess number ranking. So out of 10, let me see. Look at that. Like, yeah, I'd say somewhere in there, like a 7.5 or so, 7.75-ish maybe. Good, pay-per-view. Not the most outstanding, but definitely had some 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 very, very good quality matches. So, yeah, I'd say 7.5.
All right. What about you, Em? Either letter or number you choose.
6.5, 7, B+ fits.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It was good. Everything, it was fantastic. I can tell you, I normally have to take a nap because I'm so tired from work. I did not, and it was a nighttime pay-per-view. I did not take a nap during this pay-per-view. Like, I was definitely very much aware of what was going on, watching everything. Like, usually I'm a little bit in my phone. I have to give them some credit for that, Like, okay, it was definitely enticing to continue to watch. Mongo did not. I will let him go on a rant.
I don't need to go on a rant.
No?
Nope. I'm just gonna say I'll give it a B-, maybe 6.5.
Okay.
And it was only just because I felt like the Mercedes thing kind of derailed it a little bit, like made the momentum, and then the finish kind of just felt like it had a lot of. So usually with me with AEW pay-per-views, they'll start slow and hot. This kind of felt like it started hot and it's slow. So I think that weirdness for me is what threw my vibe off. Was like,
if I wasn't live, I would be with you. That's why mine was in the 7s and that B+, kind of like where the two ladies were at as well. But I think mine stemmed from it being live. If not, I think I would have been you 6.5, 6.75,
which
somewhere in that range.
but
That's still
still-
quality.
yeah, for their pay-per-view, I still got my money's worth. Like I'm happy I watched it. It had great matches. Like you said, I had a handful of matches. The problem with AEW, and this isn't a bad problem to have, they've just set the bar so incredibly high that when something falls flat, it can lower that scale. But overall, it was great, and I'm glad that you guys got to go, and I'm glad we got to see it. But speaking of getting to go, we don't have a whole lot to go off of yet because we only got the initial lineup, but the Jericho Cruise lineup has dropped, and I guess we can go around and just kind of ask what we're excited about, since we can't really run down everything, but I guess we'll talk about what we're excited about for this upcoming cruise and what kind of expectations we have.
I am really excited for Jeff Hardy. I can't wait to see him on the cruise.
Have you met him yet?
No, I have not. So I'm really excited to meet him. I thought that they would drop more AEW wrestlers, but
This is our initial though. This is
well, I
always the
know
way
it's going
this
to
is.
come. Yeah. I just thought that they would have more in there, but I think it looks good. I mean, I'm not disappointed at all. I think it'll still be a good cruise. I think this will be the last one,
Ooh.
though. Yeah.
Good little tinfoil there. All right, Jeff, who are you excited for on the list of people?
I actually think this is a pretty good first announcement for that. Because this is more of this
Like
the
the
overall
legends.
talent, not the wrestling talent per se, that's going to be performing. So I know everybody's kind of getting worked up, and with the Jericho stuff and where he's signing and everything else, it's going to be okay. No matter what happens, they're going to have talent that's going to be there to do the job, just like he did for every year previous. For 6 other years, they've had Ring of Honor, they've had TNA, they've had AEW, then Ring of Honor when they were bought by AEW. So like we're going to be okay. They're going to have decent talent. So I'm good. Jeff Hardy, yes, I've never met, so I think that's awesome. Saraya, I think that's awesome. Muda, like you said, complete the trifecta.
Yeah,
Ultimate.
Ultimo,
Oh, yeah, and then
Jushin.
Jushin last year, and now Muda. I think that's great in honoring and getting some of the Japanese. Also, the Bull Nagano that they had on there. You know what I mean? I really like that aspect. You get Sonny Ono again, which I'm assuming handling probably duties again, kind of like he did for Liger.
I
I
need
think
to
that
meet
was why he
Sonny.
was on there.
I'm so mad. The one picture I
Let's
have
shake
of
his hand.
the one picture I have of Sonny, I accidentally have my thumb over the lens.
Oh, that sucks. I just shook his hand and did all that when we met Liger, because it was like, oh, at least then I get to at least say hi and whatever. But Iron Maidens, I'm excited for them since this is the seventh cruise of the seventh cruise. I figured that was exactly the kind of reason they were booked, which they are a very good tribute band. He doesn't get shitty tribute bands, especially the female ones he hires. They're usually very top notch.
Downstate
So
coming back. They rocked it last year, so them coming
that's
back.
that's the next one I was gonna say downstate. Then like Guardians and all that, I'm good with whoever for that particular, them Rubik's Cubes, whoever. They're both good. They're little different styles. They're both good. I will say though, I think if they're gonna do more cruises, they might want to maybe look into doing a little different mix for next year if they end up doing another cruise, or sorry, the next cruise if they do it. Maybe we do go somewhere different than Guardians because that is kind of the same sets or songs at least. They change, but it's still kind of the same thing.
Right.
Um, the
I like
Oceanic
how the
stuff,
cruises blend.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then of course Oceanic again. We got Natalia Markova back again and Mo Jabari. So excited for that. I called that Natalia Markova last year. I think a lot of eyes got open besides just looking at her. So I'm really excited for that to actually people, see a beautiful woman that can still fucking work
And then
and
you
not
have
just looking at her body.
you actually have two Divas Airs wrestlers. I'm really excited because you have Alicia Fox and you have Saraya, so you have some Divas Airs. You also have one that Jeff and I are gonna be excited about because not only was he fucking Tugboat, not only was he Typhoon, but the Shockmaster himself, Fred
Yeah.
Ottman, is gonna be on board.
Can I bedazzle you a
No,
helmet?
Well, and
a
think
helmet. Yes,
about
I don't
the.
want to be bedazzled, but I'll wear a
Oh
bedazzled helmet.
no, but think about the also possible implications. That's why I was bringing up that Oceanic. Is the women's right now? I feel like is a fire lineup right now when
Yeah,
it
Indy
hasn't been announced.
Hartwell,
Yeah, Shotzi, Indy,
Lacey
Lacey, Casey.
Lane,
There's four right there. So you add two more, you're golden.
Elena.
Case. Well, Elena's retired technically.
I
She's not.
didn't, and
She's
that's
not.
why I
She's
didn't
listed as
include
like a.
her.
She's listed as
Guest,
like a sorceress at sea or whatever. So I think
but
she's gonna
she's
be
not. So you won't have her or Soraya working, I would assume.
right. So I would.
So
I
that's why
bet
I
you'll
didn't
have
include them.
Casey Cantonat, the one who was on Ninja Warrior
Yeah,
and
Kat
NXT for a while.
Nazaro.
Yeah, Casey's awesome. I'm actually really excited to see a lot of the women that are coming on, especially like Mongo said, Alicia Fox coming on board is, I think that Total Divas is really what brought me into wrestling again as an adult, and to have Summer on a couple years back, to have Lana on, all of the people that literally got me into wrestling. And now, yes, I've met Saraya a couple months ago, but getting her on the cruise and knowing that her nephew is going to be on
Ricky
board,
Knight Jr.
I think that
Okay, yeah.
Saraya coming on, having her podcast, that's going to be fantastic. Rachel, I'm taking you. I'm dragging you in. We are going
We'll
to
let
that
you guys.
podcast.
Speaking of podcasts, CVV, I'm sure he'll do
See,
one.
He better have a fucking podcast.
I'm
We got-
excited for him to be there too because man, this has to be something he's looked forward to since he's heard about this.
I
was
hope
gonna
I
he
mean,
ring announces.
whatever.
say
He can do whatever.
when we got a cameo for what was it? I think it was right after the second cruise. He was like, "Oh, I'm not on part 2, but maybe I'll be on part 12 because it's French, 12, right?" So I know he's been excited about the cruise and he's wanted to be on since 3, and we've tagged him in. So yeah, and then he got Busted Open. One that's kind of a surprise is Gabby, who used to be on Busted Open, but she's since left and done her own thing. But then you have Nick Nemeth, Bully Ray, Dave LaGreca. So you do have that, which I mean, Bully Ray is definitely not one that was fan friendly on the last one that he was on. But I think Busted Open itself, they at least put on a decent show. We'll probably have a good set, especially with Nick, because Nick was very balanced. And I think Dave knows how to read cards. Then you got ECW Blue Meanie, like that's exciting.
Yeah. Well, and Nick was cool
Vampiro.
on the last cruise too. That was one I'm interested in is Vampiro because
Now,
you hear good and bad about him.
I was gonna say I have heard things that it's like if he kind of decides quickly if he likes you or not, but as long as he's willing to do the meet and greet, I don't care as long as I can say hi. I loved watching him in WCW. Excuse me. So I'm excited to see him. Obviously, Brad Williams coming back.
Yep.
But one, I
AJ.
don't care what top.
I just think like that's a random person to throw in is AJ Francis.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
We can leave him at port. It's okay. I'm sure he's nice. It's just no offense. Every time he talks about something, it's the least interesting thing I've heard about because I like AJ. I think he's talented, but sometimes I think he just tries to rile up people because he thinks it's fun. I'm over the people who have that weird fetish wanting to get yelled at. But one that I wrote down that I'm really kind of surprised has come back on is Buff Bagwell because he just had his leg amputated.
Yes.
So I'm really curious to see.
Forgot about that.
Him, but he was really good on the cruise that he was on with us. I mean, I saw him a couple times in the hallway and got to talk to him, and I told him
I saw him once or twice.
I appreciate you in WCW. So I think that's the thing is, it's a good mix of legends and a good mix of TNA and some indies like NWA. So like you said, it's the initial lineup, and everyone's speculating, well, where's Jericho going to go? He's not going to tell you. If he put out featuring AEW, his cards are all out there. He's negotiating a contract right now. Whether he's in WWE, we'll still get a good cruise. Whether he's in AEW, we'll still get a good cruise.
What if he goes nowhere?
If he goes nowhere, we'll still get a good cruise.
Exactly.
I don't see him having people pay the price of the cruise and not getting their money's worth. I mean, the first cruise was Ring of Honor talent because AEW didn't exist. We were spoiled on cruises 2 through 6 to have AEW talent and some top names. But it's Jericho. Even if people aren't, maybe even could like Killer Cross. This is one I'm waiting for them to announce. No one's talking about Killer Cross can come on the boat with
and Scarlett
because
Shotzi's already on there too.
And Killer Cross knows Jericho very well, so that could be very interesting, and I'm excited about all that.
And I'm just looking at the comedians right now. Their pictures tell me that they are wrestling fans. I think that that's something that Brad Williams has really tried to do is get the wrestling fans in for the comedians, especially after Jeff Dye fell fucking flat on his face. I think that these 3, April Massey, JB Ball, and Marcus Monroe, they all literally fit the part. And I think they're going to blend in so well. I'm excited to see what their comedy is.
I've seen some YouTube. They seem like they fit in. And I believe JB opened for Brad pretty recently. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yes. And I think I told Rachel, the gal, the first name of the gal, she has, I think, something on Netflix.
Yes.
April.
So you can, so you can check her out. She's on like one of those like group shows where it's like a group of comedians that are all kind of doing little sets. But I think she has one on there because we were gonna we try to watch that stuff and get familiarized.
Besides Ryan Nemeth, every comedy style on that cruise has been gold.
Yeah, and Nick will help out. Nick will help out again too.
Right.
He'll help again.
You said Jeff Dye fell flat on his face. I would say if there's a 1A, 1B for probably the worst comedy on the cruise, it's Ryan and Jeff.
I remember Ryan's. I'm going to throw it out there. Chloe, I remember
So cringy.
But
He's
I
the
remember it.
because I remember the exploding barbed wire death match. Doesn't mean that was great at the end.
That's fair too.
They
I
put it
remember
in
the
the video game.
electrified barbed wire match with that TNA pay per view.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you remember the shock,
Before,
but I think,
yeah, you saw it without sound effect or without the effects in the right, not in the wrong spots.
and I think kind of like last thoughts, to end. So obviously we don't go too long here. I think the port. I'm gonna say I'm a little disappointed with Bahamas again. I kind of like that we went to Mexico. I like that we went to Dominican. I was kind of hoping we stayed out of the Bahamas this year and kind
I
of
wanted to go back to the Dominican.
I wanted to go to Jamaica.
Dominican was cool. Jamaica
I was
would have
hoping
been cool
Jamaica.
too.
I was real because a rumor I'd heard that was going to be Jacksonville to Jamaica, and I was kind of hoping that was true. I'm like, ooh, Double J, that'd be a cool little. And I was also hoping that Jeff Jarrett was on the cruise because I heard a little rumor a few years ago he wanted to come on Cruise 4, but he couldn't. Love to see Double J on that cruise. I think he'd be great to do his podcast. Bring on Conrad. I think that's my wishes. Bring Conrad, JBL, and Jeff Jarrett, and have some really good podcasts on there.
That'd be interesting, and they would all get along too as far as the cruise atmosphere. Because I know Conrad, he was already on one, wasn't he?
Yep, and bring back Noelle for Emily. Bring Noelle Foley. She's a 3-timer, well 2-timer, but should be a 3-timer.
Yeah.
So I guess to wrap up, I'm gonna ask everyone, what's one thing hasn't been booked yet? But what's one thing you're hoping they book for the cruise? We'll go around to wrap it up.
Ooh. I would hope that they would book Mark Briscoe again.
Okay. Never say no.
I'd like to see him.
I mean, like if you go as far as like cruise MVPs and stuff like that, like if we're talking like the real wishful tinfoil, I guess I'll put it. I mean, you got to talk like Will and a couple of those, but I don't know about Will coming on. They know he has a good time, so I don't know about that. But I would say Outrunners would be a good one to have back. They fit that vibe just so well. Aubrey, of course, would be great, and regardless of who the affiliation is. Trying to think. I'd like to have Jungle Boy or Jungle Man and fucking Luchasaurus. I think would be great to have back too now. And then maybe the Gun Club, Bullet Club Gold. I think that would be my next one I'd have to throw out.
I like it. All right. What about you, Emily?
I think I almost don't want Chris to sign anywhere just so I can selfishly get a mix-up of talent. I want to see like an incredible mashup of all these different companies come together for this cruise. I think that it has so much potential depending on where he goes with what we're going to see. I can't really pick who I want until Jeff just said Bullet Club Gold.
Okay.
I see.
I could easily, like, Jay White, getting to meet him, that would be really cool.
Awesome.
We've met Ace Austin.
Juice being
He's
goofy.
cool.
I'll say I have 2 bigs, but he has to sign with AEW for it to happen. Okada and Sting.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to see
Sting.
Sting be that $100 photo op.
Mm-hmm.
Have him, old man Sting. He said it's his last year doing the makeup. Maybe make an exception for the cruise. Even if he doesn't.
Maybe.
What if he's the big match
cool.
with Jericho?
He's retired. He won't do a match on the cruise.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he doesn't come out.
It's Sting. He's not gonna. Yeah, if he'd come out and do the save.
He'd come out and do the bat spot, and just hit people with a bat for the save. And
I could see Jericho doing a face paint again.
Yeah. What if we get Darby and Steve Borden Jr. As on the cruise? Like that's what I'm saying. I think something like that. Like get Steve Borden. It's house show. Like I'm trying to think who could use some house shows.
The Jarrah runners.
Dalton Castle get Dalton Castle back. Yeah. Smooth Sailing, Ashley Remington.
Castle Runners. The Castle Runners would be real good on there too. Dalton Castle would be another one to go with the Outrunners because I saw clips from Dalton Castle on there and he looked like he was pretty good with that type of crowd and everything else. So.
No, I agree.
I think didn't we have Ashley at one point?
Who?
I know they were on the first cruise, but didn't Dalton?
Yeah, not for us.
We didn't have him. He was on the first cruise. Yes, we did not get Dalton. But
unfortunately,
I hope we get CD. I hope we get Frankie. We need those 7-timers. The numbers are dwindling. All of us are going to be 6-timers when we go on this cruise. Our numbers are dwindling. It's nice to see the community, but I'm looking forward to it. We'll have more episodes. We'll talk more on the cruise as we learn more. But we have until November 7th to November 11th, 2026. So we have over 370 plus days to plan, think, and pay this cruise off. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to set sail on the high seas for the 7th cruise of a 7th cruise. Not 7th heaven like we thought it was going to be, but I'm ready for this cruise and ready to set sail.
And if you are a former cruiser and want to join us and talk about your experience, again, 2,500 experiences every year. We're on to 7. So come on, talk about it with us. We're easygoing. DM us. Let's get you on. Come on.
I love to hear about it too. It's nice to hear everybody's individual experiences because they're all different. And, you know, depends on where you were sitting at. Maybe your experience was totally different than what somebody, you know, on the left-hand side of where you completely opposite, you know. So, and it's just nice to hear everybody does different things.
Maybe I'll put a call to action out there to Mr. Parmesan himself. Maybe Sean in Kayfabe Corner. We can tell some stories at the Kayfabe Corner that we're staking that corner back. Kayfabe Corner is going to happen for a 3rd, 4th year.
There you go. Nice.
So,
there you go.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. It was a longer show than usual, but we talked about Wrestledream, the cruise, and more. And we'll have more. We'll have Jeff and Rachael on again. More, obviously, for not just pay-per-view predictions, but more cruise talk. Let us know in the comments. Remember, like, subscribe, all that other fun jazz. And remember, always
keep the kayfabe.
Keep the kayfabe.
Hey everyone, it's your producer and co-host Mongo here, thanking you so much for tuning into another fantastic episode of Cruising with Kayfabe. Emily and I certainly appreciate all the support and love you've shown us. For an ad-free experience and exclusive content, visit cwkpod.com. Music provided by The Undone. Emily and Mongo would like to thank The Undone for letting us use their title track, Misfortune. Misfortune, as well as their other songs, are now available wherever you stream or purchase music, or by visiting wearetheundone.com. And hey, let's get them booked on the Jericho Cruise. They're a great group of guys, and they would totally rock the boat. Make sure you follow Emily and I on our socials at Cruising with Kayfabe on the Facebook and the Instagram. Mongo it's Mongo on TikTok, and Emily at Cruising with Kayfabe _Emily. You can also visit w.gg and use promo code Mongo and save 10% on some clean energy. Make sure you like and follow the show and leave us a 5-star frog splash review. But if you don't like us and you don't like the Jericho Cruise, I'm just going to let a legend himself tell you what we're all thinking.
So if you're not down with the Jericho Cruise,